What's the guys? This is the review of the Glowshift temperature / oil pressure gauge. So let's get right into it. The gauge will be installed into this old Mercedes with an LS1. It's basically an LS swap, and the gauge is over here. You see here. Let me go ahead and turn it on for you guys. So the gauge is actually really nice. You see here. So I'm going to put it to the key on. And basically, you have your oil pressure on the bottom, and then temperature at the top. And you got basically this button. You can choose our color. You see here. I'm gonna do another video at night, but this is how it goes. I'm gonna turn back to let's call that white. Let me put it back to white. So this is the schematic right here. You see here at the back of the gauge, you have, this is for the coolant sensor. On one side is for the coolant sensor, other side is for oil pressure. And at the bottom is your power harness. So it's 4 wires. There's red is 12 volts, switch source, very important, switch source. Black is ground, or your orange wire is for headlamps. So when you turn it on, it'll dim. Then obviously yellow is 12 volts constant, so basically memory. And black and white is for your coolant, which I'm gonna go ahead and. This is the sensor right here. I don't recommend this because it will be off around like 10 to like 20 degrees. So what I recommend is splicing it into your factory ECT sensor. See here, it's spliced in. And then I combined the wiring harness with the oil pressure sensor. So see here, that's your oil pressure sensor right there. And oil pressure sensor is actually very accurate and pretty good. And then all the way up to right here, basically to the dashboard, the gauge. Alright, so the power wiring harness. Let's see here. Alright, so this is the wiring harness right here. I hope you guys can see that. Right there. Alright, so let's go with red. And I basically hook this up with radio. So just in case the gauge goes out, I have to check the radio fuse. But basically, so red is for 12 volt switched, which is right here. This is my 12 volt switch. You guys can see it. And yellow is constant, yellow. Black is the ground wire, so I hooked it up with my radio black ground wire. And obviously the dim switch is hooked up to my radio dim. So when I turn on the headlights, it'll dim. So right here, this is the orange wire. Remember, orange wire dim, yellow 12 volts constant, black is ground, and red is 12 volts switched. So yeah, so that's the gauge on. So I'm gonna go ahead and start for you guys. Oh shit. I messed up. Don't tap it with your ECT sensor. Instead, use the coolant sensor that comes with it. That's because when I tapped in the ECT sensor, I would get like a false reading. I would be off by around like 100 degrees. And I even tried to put it in its own ground strap by taking the ground and plugging right there, and I'll still be off by like 100. So instead, well, on the LS1 engine, I went ahead and just tapped it on the other side of the block or the head right here. You can see here I got the adapter, and this is the coolant sensor right here. I'll have everything I use to make this work in the description below. But basically, you need this adapter for the coolant sensor, for these heads, for LS1 head, and then obviously the oil temperature sensor adapter, and then I use these wire taps to plug in my wiring harness and stuff like that. And let's go power, baby. Alright, so yep, hitting 40, that's really good. 45. Car's going up, it's at cold. Right now I am going to my live view on my thing. You see here, where you can see it. So on my ECT sensor using my OBD2 scanner, it's 72. And over there it's 69. So it'll be off between like around 10 to like 5. Which is pretty much close enough. But basically, yeah. We'll give it a little rev. So when you rev a car to like high RPM, it should go up by like 10 PSI. So we'll go ahead and rev it. See, I'm going up to 60. That's pretty good. Alright, what's up guys? I'm back in the car. You can see here. Got the dash and pretty much consider console in. See here, my short throw shifter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty good right here. Alright, back to the gauge for reviewing. But anyway, so that's the gauge right here. Key on. Pretty nice, very nice. 93. Well, it looks a lot better in person. See like a little blur right there. But in real life, it's like very, very crisp. And this is the dim. See the difference? I'm gonna go ahead and start it so you guys can see it going up and down. Damn. No, but you guys get the idea. But Glowshift temperature and oil pressure gauge is like really, pretty good. I like how it's like, you know, you get temperature and oil pressure, and the lines are a little crisp. You can choose your 10 different color modes, and this looks really nice. So I'll give it like a 5 out of 5. The only issue is probably the coolant sensor. It's probably like, you know, how you say it? It's like 10 degrees off a bit, but that's probably it, man. Oil pressure is like spot on, and that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And yeah, so this is definitely worth it. And I'm thinking about like changing this entire gauge right here to like custom gauges right here. Like one for speedometer, one for tachometer, one for speedometer, and this will be since I already got like coolant and oil pressure, this will be like I guess vacuum, or probably vacuum. Most likely vacuum and fuel level gauge. But that's in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're curious, this is a 380 SL with the LS1 T56 6-speed manual. And it's almost done. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.